Ladies and gentlemen, it continues. I showed you guys a video last night of Erika Kirk firing back at those who say that the way that she's responding to her husband's death, the way that she's in the forefront, the way she took over Turning Point USA, the way she's going to all these different events and things like that. People are saying that it comes off as being a little sus. It comes off as a little bit unbecoming. It doesn't seem right. And then there's others that say, hey, she grieves in her own way. She's been strong. How do you know that behind closed doors, this woman is not crying her eyes out? It does not matter. She's standing strong. She's standing on business. Well, those individuals, or some individuals, who felt that Erika Kirk was telling them and firing back at them, they have some things they want to say back at her. Who was that? One of them is Candace Owens. Let's get to it. How are you good people doing, my American and foreign brothers and sisters? Welcome to the channel. I am Ty Smith. You're watching my channel, Modern Renaissance Man. You know I'm greatly appreciative of it. Make sure you follow me up here, follow me down here, click the thumbs up button because it helps me. If and when you do subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification that will bring down the drop box. Select that notification, and that way you will be notified every time I post. Lastly, do not forget to check out my other channel called Man, Husband, Father. And everything I ask you to do on this channel, do it over there. So, guys, like I told you guys in the beginning of this, Erika Kirk came out last night and was on Fox, and she addressed all the stuff that was being thrown at her. And in her saying that, she pretty much was saying, like, I don't have time for that. Pretty much what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep on doing what Turning Point USA has been doing under my husband, and that's building. I don't have time to address all the BS. Basically what she's saying. Now, let me say this again. There are going to be people on both sides that are going to agree with how Erika Kirk is reacting. There are going to be people that's going to find what she's doing right now to be a little, it just don't seem right. It's going to be there, right? But what you need to understand is this. The fact that anybody is questioning anything, that's not a wrong thing, y'all. Now, you might jump and say, you just trying to defend Candace. I'm not defending just Candace. I'm not defending nobody. I'm just talking about period. For example, this just happened the other day at the casino. Me and my wife at the casino. My wife comes up to me. She got her little ticket in her hand, her voucher rather. She goes upstairs. We were talking, whatever like that. And she goes, oh my God, where my voucher at? Where's my voucher? While me and my wife, I told you I'm very observant. While me and my wife was going up the stairs, a couple was coming down the stairs. As soon as my wife came upstairs, made a left turn, went to the machine she was going to go to, she realized, my voucher. What did I do? I bolted back downstairs. I seen that couple, and when they were walking, I was looking at that man's hand, right? She told me exactly the amount that was on her voucher. So I looked in that man's hand, making sure that wasn't the voucher. I looked in his wife's hand, making sure that wasn't the voucher. They was the one that came down the stairs, and there was nobody else coming up behind us. She got one of her favorite waitresses. The waitress went and got security them, well, let's run this back, let's look this up, right? By that time, I'm looking at everybody's hand. Is anybody, because it could have been anybody picked it up. I'm looking at different people's hand. Does that got this amount on there? To the exact amount, to the T. Then it has the barcode number on there, because security could have came up and said, hey, can we see this barcode to see if it matches this machine? Because the barcode on that voucher that came at this machine belongs to this woman, right? Well, come to find out, my wife, while she was talking to me and blabbing her mouth, she didn't even realize that while she was talking to me, she sat down, she put the ticket in the machine, she started telling me about something else, then she just went, oh my God, what did I do with my voucher? My point in saying all that is everybody became like a suspect. I started looking at everybody's hand. Was I wrong for that? Was I wrong for sitting there wondering the couple that came up, the couple that was going down the stairs while we were going up? Was it wrong of me to go and look in to see if that man was in his hand? Was it wrong for me to look to see if maybe somebody else picked it up that's near that area where she dropped it, where she so-called dropped it at? Let me look in their hand. So there's nothing wrong with having this question. Now, did I go to anybody and directly accuse them? No. But I did look and have questions without them knowing that I was kind of wondering if they might have picked up my wife's voucher. Now, I didn't go at them and be like, let me see your hand. Let me see if you took I didn't do any of that. Right. So my point is, there's nothing wrong with having the suspicion that it could be multiple people. But to come out and say that someone definitely did it without any evidence, now that's a different ballgame right there, because we had security them run the cameras back. Let's get some hardcore evidence. Yeah, your wife put it in the machine. She didn't realize it. Boom. So I get it. Some people are saying the same thing about Candace. Candace don't have no evidence that all these claims she's making, there's no evidence. She's out of her mind. She's crazy. So what I'm saying is that for people to have questions, don't make them crazy. But I can understand how it will sound crazy if you're saying all this stuff you don't have no evidence to produce, right? So there are people who are doing the same thing to Erica. This woman ain't grieving. She ain't doing this. How do you know? Because look how she's acting. She's going on these book tours. She's trying to sell books. They're ramping up money for Turning Point USA. That woman ain't grieving. Why she all of a sudden become the CEO of Turning Point USA? That's not how a woman would grieve. Do y'all see how she is behind closed doors? No, I mean, but then we don't know. See what I'm saying? It can go both ways. Anyway, I know I blabber my mouth and y'all want to see what Candace Owens had to say on this. So without further ado, here you go.
It launches into a strong defense of Turning Point USA employees who have, just as a matter of fact, told many lies, many inconsistencies. These are verifiable. So they are currently lying to the public, or they have lied to the public, but she is going to deliver quite an impassioned defense regarding these particular individuals and the organization as a whole. And I want you to hear her passion. Take a listen.
What are they taking from you right now?
Nothing. But I will tell you what they are doing. It reminds me so much of chapter 6 in the book of Nehemiah. He is building a wall, and the townspeople are at the base of that hill saying, Nehemiah, calling him all these names, saying all these things, come on down. Every single time he had the same message 4 times in a row. I cannot come down. I am busy building. That is how I feel. I do not have time to address the noise. My silence does not mean that I am complacent. My silence does not mean that somehow Turning Point USA and all of the handpicked staff that loved my husband and my husband loved them is somehow in on it. We are busy building. And you know what I thought? I thought these people are human. We are all grieving in our own way. And they are trying to find the answer to something that happened that was so evil. They are trying so hard. And I get that. We're doing the same. Anytime we hear a lead or anytime we hear anything, we send it to the authorities. Please dig into this. No rock will be unturned. I want justice for my husband, for myself, for my family, more than anyone else out there. So for me, you want to keep telling me to come down while we're building? I don't have time for that. But here's my breaking point on that. Come after me, call me names, I don't care. Call me what you want, go down that rabbit hole, whatever. But when you go after my family, my Turning Point USA family, my Charlie Kirk Show family, when you go after the people that I love, and you're making hundreds and thousands of dollars every single episode going after the people that I love because somehow they're in on this, no.
I'm sorry, but that whole thing right there is frustrating. And I'm going to explain to you why I just do not accept any of that. First and foremost, the idea that she does not have time. Okay, she definitely has time, okay? She's done Hannity, she's done The Five, she's done Fox and Friends, she's done Outnumbered, she's done Megyn Kelly Live, she sat down with the New York Times. She made time, by the way, in case you don't remember, to fly to DC for Sergio Gore to be sworn into the ambassador to India, as the ambassador to India, which feels kind of obscure and not necessarily related to Turning Point USA affairs, building affairs, or whatever it is. But sure, that's fine. I mean, obviously, you're also allowed to be a person if that's the homie and that's what you want to do, sure. But we are indeed speaking about a coast-to-coast flight to stand up next to somebody and basically say, Charlie loved you. That was like the whatever 15-second speech that she gave, right? Here's actually, we have a clip of that speech that she gave.
Well, he was also very good friends with a guy named Charlie. We just knew him as Charlie. And his wife, who we love so much, is here with us. And maybe, you know how close they were together. Maybe, Erica, you could say a couple of words, please.
I'm honored to, sir. Charlie loved you. It's hard not to get emotional because I know that he would have been the first phone call when he found out that you were going to be taking this position. And the way that I was able to witness the two of you work together for years and to champion and support the president was absolutely humbling to witness, and I am so proud of you. And Charlie is going to be with you every single day. in spirit, and I will be praying for you every day because I know that this is just the beginning of an incredible opportunity for you. And sir, thank you for allowing Sergio to have this beautiful moment.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Tara.
That's just an ambassador to India swearing in ceremony. Again, if that's your friend and you want to be there, that makes sense. She's also a person, and she can decide what she wants to do there. But the point that I am making is that's a coastal flight that she made to be there to watch a paper get signed. She has also made time for an upcoming CBS News town hall sit down with Barry Weiss, which was filmed today. So Erica Kirk has time. She has time. It is just what she means to say, not her priority, which is you are allowed to prioritize things in your own life. But this is not a matter of time constraint. It is not her priority to respond to the majority, actually. The majority of people think of this as BS. The majority of people think Turning Point is acting suspicious. And she does not feel that it is what she wants to do as a matter of priority, responding. Okay, that's fine. Now, to that point that people are making hundreds and thousands of dollars, I just don't get how there's not someone on this very large PR team, as we're seeing these PR campaigns go out, that doesn't go, hey, maybe we should strike that. They made $40 million like 2 nights ago at Mar-a-Lago. Maybe that feels kind of a little bit like let them eat cake-ish. Oh, and we've made more than, separately from Mar-a-Lago, Turning Point USA, since Charlie was killed, just so you guys know, this is a fact, has made more than $100 million. That is separate from the $40 million they made at Mar-a-Lago the other night. So since Charlie has died, that organization has taken in $140 million. But gosh darn you people that are making hundreds of dollars every day on YouTube talking about Charlie Kirk's assassination and the BS narrative that is being fed and the very obvious psychological operation that is being employed to make you accept the BS that they are trying to sell to us. Gosh darn you. Did you make $1,000 today? Speaking about Charlie Kirk? Well, you should be ashamed of yourself, says Turning Point USA, who in large part made that money because of those very people who gave to the organization immediately following Charlie Kirk's assassination. And the thing that is especially absurd about that is trying to almost like, I want to be clear that Turning Point USA is my family. The Charlie Kirk show is my family. She's just expanding the wings of people that we're not allowed to critique because they're in the family. If you call them fam, you can't critique them, right? Oh, I'm sorry. We actually are showing a clip of Rob McCoy defending a pedophile or trying to launder the reputation of that's fam. That's the CK show fam. Oh, I'm sorry. We are actually pointing to the fact that we know for certain that this person or organization is sexual deviant. That's fam. Don't you get me upset. I know that this is a now $150 million in the last 3-month organization, and we employ tons of people, but you can't critique. You can't critique the fam. And I hate to say this, but I'm going to be very clear here. This is why there are many people who do not believe that women are equipped to lead companies, because what you are watching here is an unbelievably emotional response that is absent of any logic, okay? If you really care about your team, answer the questions, okay? Just demystify the entire event. Come out, sit down, answer the questions so people don't think Turning Point USA looks so suspicious. Don't try to mom the organization and say, well, mother's upset because people are coming after her kids and all of this multi-million-dollar subsidiaries. That's my children, okay? The multi-million-dollar subsidiaries, Turning Point, like Turning Point Action, all that, those are my kids, so you can't critique them. Not a good idea, okay? It may work in PR world. You guys, I know how it's an obvious PR campaign. It's never been more obvious of a psychological operation. I actually wish they would put me on payroll so I could help them make these things look more organic than having every single person that has been telling us to stop asking questions all make the exact same video within 4 seconds of each other, being like, whoa, whoa, Erica Kirk shuts down the no, she didn't even respond to one of the conspiracies. She gave us emotion.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am interrupting this video right now because we are back around to that time again, and I know it has flown. This is the time where I do my thing every single year, my annual Christmas for Kids, where you who are the watchers right now can donate and be able to help children who are less fortunate this year have a good Christmas. We had a huge turnout last year, and I'm looking forward to having a huge turnout this year. And the way that you can donate is by going to PayPal right up there, or you can donate through Cash App. And these proceeds are going strictly all to children who are less fortunate this Christmas. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about it. And guys, it's right around the corner. To all of you that are going to be giving, thank you and God bless you. Looking forward to this.
She gave us emotion. She said, I'm a mother, I am a wife, and we never asked about whether she was mother or wife. We want to know if she is a CEO and a chairman. And a CEO and a chairman has to compartmentalize. A CEO and a chairman cannot respond to valid questions and critiques about finances, about shady actions that are being taken by people that require presidential pardons, people that are meaningfully asking why we are not getting a clear answer of what took place on September 10th. A CEO, okay, does not get to respond and say, that's my family. Okay, that's the energy of what I would expect from a mother speaking to a teacher, which I was this mom, like that's my kid, okay? And I'll shut this down right now. That's my child. This is not a child. Turning Point USA is an organization, and Erica already had an uphill battle to climb, like that she had to climb this because, by the way, just because if this was Goldman Sachs and the president of Goldman Sachs or a managing director over at Goldman Sachs died in a horrifically violent way, the Goldman Sachs family might mourn for a couple of months, but they would have instantly had someone to replace that individual. And beyond that, they would have never accepted the public and the people that are investing money. They would have never accepted, well, he's gone, but here's his wife. She already had a hill to climb here, right? Like, this does not make you qualified because you love someone to take on their job. I am not qualified to do what my husband does. That's why I said I wouldn't want to be the CEO and the chairman of a company. Actually, there's a great clip of Jordan Peterson asking that very question. Like, why do women want to be? Like, why would you want to have? It's actually a lot of work and it's very stressful and it's a lot of numbers and you're crunching numbers and you have to be everywhere, okay? If you want that, great. If you built the company and you're in the room like Charlie Kirk did and you have proven to the public, like, hey, I built this company, I didn't even go to college and I've been doing this for over a decade as Charlie Kirk did, you've earned that street cred, okay? So she already had a hill to climb because now they're saying, well, this is his wife. And so, that's it. Well, now you're going to have to prove that you have the ability to be a CEO and a chairman and not just a wife who we expect emotion from. And you're rightful in that capacity. You are rightful to have emotion. You are rightful to be the aggrieved widow, but you don't get to just be widowed into the position of chairman and CEO. You don't get to respond to, well, in this case, investors, donors who have given money and are asking meaningful questions with, no, you don't get replies right now because this is the Charlie Kirk show, fam. Doesn't work this way, okay? And the broader point removed from Erica, which a lot of these mockingbird influencers seem to be making, is essentially they're saying to us that scientific inquiry and investigation in and of itself is now patently wrong, right? Essentially, we should just trust the state. Don't believe your own instincts. Don't believe your own eyes. Don't ask any questions. And I really want to stress to you guys how utterly ridiculous that logic is, right? Because if we followed that logic in any other situation, there would never be a crime solved ever, okay? If we just ascribe to the idea that scientific investigation is on its face wrong, it would not work. I'll give you a crappy analogy here, but imagine if there's like some young mother and she dies suddenly in the middle of the night, presumably in the middle of the night, and her husband is the first one to report it in the morning, and the cops show up who happen to be his buddies. They get there, and then they dramatically close the case in 48 hours, and neighbors are like, wait a minute. Excuse me, officers. Actually, you might want to know some other facts here about this guy. Like, he's in the mafia. these people would be like, how dare you question the people closest to, he loved her, that's his wife. Being a gang member is not evidence. Why are you saying he's a gang member? It's not evidence. And you get another nosy neighbor who produces evidence that in the middle of the night before she died, they saw the guy outside, the husband outside, removing cameras in the front yard. That's not evidence. Yeah, but I saw him go out in the middle. He put something in his car in the trunk. He was looking shady. That's not evidence. How dare you find that to be suspicious? More nosy neighbors start discussing, and they were like, hey, we heard them. They were having actually a heated argument before she was found dead. I think it was about money. All of a sudden, the next thing you know, you got Allie Stuckey from the HOA. She blasts out an email, and she says, it's unbiblical. It's unbiblical to gossip. Hearing an argument is not hard evidence. You have no right to discuss it. Yeah, we're the nosy neighbors, okay? We put together a list of 20 verifiable lies that have been told in the weeks following this sudden death event. And yeah, we have some questions. So we're not going to accept Tim Pool jumping on the airwaves with big estrogen energy telling us we're evil because we have like school board elections next Thursday. We're the nosy neighbors. We don't care about the elections coming up. We want to know whether or not we are in bed with people who are capable of murder, people that are capable of covering up murders. Actually, we, the nosy neighbors, feel a little bit less safe in this neighborhood until we know whether or not there are some psychopathic killers in our midst. How about that? That's how I feel. I think that's how a lot of people feel right now. So I want to express that. And this psychological campaign filled with emotional manipulation and how dare you, and the aggrieved widow speaks, and so you're not allowed to question a $150 million organization. No, I reject it. I reject that 100%. Which is why I will say it has arrived as a blast of fresh air that on this very same day, Tucker Carlson is standing up to the nonsense. He's not speaking about Erica, obviously. He is friends with Erica. But just the nonsense of what the FBI is saying, he's wading in and saying, yeah, the FBI is not being clear in what happened. And I have questions because, and I think it feels like a blast of fresh air, because and I know many people at home, are seeing all of these people that we followed and we thought that they were heroes. And suddenly this assassination has exposed them all to be frauds. Like for the right price, they will join Operation Mockingbird. For me personally, that is how I feel, okay? Like people in the military that I thought were forthright, people that were journalists that I thought were forthright. I just am so let down. And I don't think I would have been able to handle if Tucker Carlson was among those people. You need hard evidence. As if the killer's going to walk in and be like, okay, here's how I did it, okay? I'm going to give you the hard evidence. I was here, there. Like, what? Instead, Tucker Carlson is coming out and he is blasting the corporate and the Fed narrative with common sense. He joined Theo Von, and here is what he had to say. Take a listen.
I don't understand the official story at all.
Of his assassination,
I don't understand it, and I want to make sure that there is a truly rigorous and honest federal investigation of it, and I'm definitely concerned about that. A. B. I think that I don't know many of the details, but I know that recently Candace said that Egyptian registered aircraft were following Erika Kirk, Charlie's widow, around for a number of years in different places in the world. That's one of the weirdest things I've ever heard, and I just want to say that is factually true. That's true. So that's like the one data point that I happen to know is true. What does that mean? I have literally no idea. I can't even guess, but that's very, very strange.
And what is Egyptian? It could mean aircrafts from Egypt. Who knows?
I think that they were registered in Egypt.
Got it.
And but that fact is true. So enough, and it also her claim that, there were kind of a disproportionately large number of foreign registered cell phones at the event. That's also true. So what does that add up to? I don't know, but it means that, the FBI has a moral and legal obligation to look in every direction and to be open-minded, as you would in any investigation, in journalism, in science. It's all the same process. I don't know the answer. and I'm going to sift through everything as open-mindedly as I can, as honestly as I can, to get to what the truth is. That's, again, that's science, that's law enforcement, that's journalism. It's all the same. That's justice. And I just want to make sure that is happening, and I just don't have a ton of confidence in the FBI or the men who run it. And I'm not saying that out of ignorance at all.
That's a scary part, too.
I'm not alleging anything. I'm just saying I think it's really important that we have that.
That is what authenticity sounds like, and that's what we're doing here. We are investigating, right? Sometimes you get something wrong, you correct it, but I was right about the Egyptian planes. And when you hear Tucker Carlson say that he is confirming that that part is true, what I take from that, Tucker Carlson has been very clear. He grew up with CIA agents, okay? This is a guy who grew up in Virginia. His father, he learned after his father died, he thought he was just working with the CIA. No, his father was on the payroll of the CIA. So Tucker's friends are in the state. So you should take it as a concrete fact that there's something up with these Egyptian planes, and they were in fact following around Charlie, and they were following around Erica, as I told you. And that means people in the NSA, the CIA, are confirming that that is real. And yet, just last week, what we got from Blake Neff, and I know he's untouchable, he's in the fam, but I'm going to go ahead and touch that and say, like, this is not okay, the vibe is not right, is making a mockery of it. That is what we mean when we say none of this is passing the vibe check with Turning Point USA. There's no clear answers. There's mockery, there's laughter, but there's no clear answers. And the mockery and the laughter is not working. Neither is this idea that, well, now the widow has spoken. We're not dealing with the widow. We want the CEO and the chairman of Turning Point USA to answer. Okay? If you can't compartmentalize, then I don't see how you're going to be able to lead this organization in the future, because Charlie worked. We knew who Charlie was because he was authentic. Okay? He didn't just go, well, I only make time for like big pocket donors. Okay? He was sitting college campuses. He was speaking to people, understanding people. He was changing his ideas, and he was changing minds. And you are not changing my mind about the fact that something weird happened that day and that TPUSA is acting funny because you give it an impassioned plea and speak about Nehemiah on Fox News. Okay? None of it makes any sense. Anyways, Tucker then goes on and states the obvious predicament further, which is that we just don't have any faith in the government. Take a listen to him discussing some of these lingering questions.
Here's what I am concerned about. A lot of things. One, he acted alone. Tell me how that worked. None of us really act alone.
It's hard to go anywhere by yourself, too.
Thank you. Exactly. You acted totally alone. Okay. You're going to have to prove that to me. It's totally possible. Anything is possible. Weird things have happened. We'll continue to. But that's not my default assumption, and it shouldn't be yours. And their default assumption was we acted alone. Really? Why do you think that? What about life suggests that people typically act alone? When was the last time you acted alone in anything? I don't go, right? So A. B, we know that people had foreknowledge of this because they posted about it on X and said Charlie Kirk is going to be killed on this date, and he was.
Is that true?
Yes, it's true.
But were they just guessing? Was it a guessing thing where every day they posted that?
Maybe. Have those people been interviewed? Have they been hauled into FBI HQ and had a long conversation with how they knew that? Like, let's get really specific. Why did you post that? Who have you talked to? Like, if I were doing this investigation, because I spent my whole life doing non-criminal investigations called journalism, like, what do we know is true? How do we find out? Call everybody. Be open-minded. It's like it's the same process. If I was doing this investigation, they would be at the very top of the list. Tell me how this guy who seemed normal became a radical trans furry murderer? It's not enough to tell me, oh, trans. I'm not pro-trans, by the way.
But was that the guy or his boyfriend?
Well, exactly. Exactly right. Tell me how this guy became so radicalized that he murdered a stranger. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm saying I want an explanation for how it happened. Why wouldn't I?
I agree.
Oh, we can't talk about that because it'll prejudice the jury pool. Really, you've told the world that you have both a confession from him in his text to his boyfriend and the murder weapon with his fingerprints on it. I think you've got a pretty solid case. So why is it so difficult to just explain? So I have said from the beginning, if you don't like what Candace Owens is saying, why don't you call her and offer a more plausible explanation for what happened? Oh, she's bad. She's bad. Okay. I mean, I like her a lot. I don't think she's bad, but I love her actually. But let's just stipulate she's bad. But why wouldn't you do that? Because
I don't agree with some of the stuff that the rabbit hole she goes down, but
I don't even know.
But I like the fact that she likes to dig in the garden, you know?
Theo, we are in this garden, okay? And we're not getting out of this garden with the Fed slop narrative. We're just not getting out of the garden with trying to emotionally manipulate us and say, it's not, this feels like COVID, right? It's not like COVID-19. It's like Candace 19. It's another fake, they're saying it's a fake virus. Like, oh, you got infected. You just can't do it. 6 feet social distancing from Candace Owens. We're going to get every influencer on social media. 6 feet social distancing. Save lives. What are you, a grandma killer? What, you just don't like him? What? And then Tim's all fired up. She's a C word. People are going to die if you don't get this vaccine. And I'm like, I feel like maybe the government's not telling us the truth. We're right back to that, but it's Candace 19. It's Candace 19. That's what it is. And they think that it maybe if they put the little 6 feet social distancing pads in the grocery store, that the PSYOP will win and make us believe that this is like common sense is the virus. I'm the common sense virus. It's coming around. It's so evil. Stay at home, wear a mask, save lives. You don't want to catch it. You don't want to catch the common sense, you guys. You don't want to catch it. Anyways, I dare. I'm sorry, I dare. And I have been very careful because I wasn't sure what direction she was going to go. If she was like, I was like, look, she's got a whole business that she's got to figure out. There's a lot of people in her ear. Maybe they like did this transition too quickly and she's just like keeping her head like, no, what she's saying is Turning Point USA is untouchable. And it's a no from me. But you know me. I'm just out here saying what needs to be said.
And some of y'all, I know some of y'all have sent me videos and y'all sent comments like Candace is responding like she was the one she act like she in love with Charlie the way she acting like she this, she acting like she that. You have a right to think that. You have a right to question that. See, the same way that you are questioning Candace, the same way you are coming up with your opinions about Candace is the same exact way that Candace is coming up with her opinions about everything that's going on with Charlie Kirk. Does that make you wrong that you're saying that Candace is out of her mind? Candace is a Looney Tune. I'm just saying. Does it make you wrong that people are saying Erica Kirk is crazy? I would never be out there. I would never take over Turning Point USA. I don't see nothing. This woman can't. And then Erica Kirk firing back like there's no matter what I do, y'all gonna find something wrong. But by you questioning Erika Kirk and how she is, does that make you wrong? Y'all get it? I know this is going to be hard for some of y'all to really comprehend that. Seriously, I'm not saying it to be condescending, but it's going to be hard for a lot of people to even understand what I'm actually saying. So without any more add to this, folks, because I'm hoping that this stuff is going to close up. And then I would love it if Candace Owens, along with Erika Kirk and Turning Point USA, all went on Fox News and they had like a 2-hour window to just talk stuff out. Do it. Just do it. Anyway, y'all, let me know what y'all thoughts are by putting in the comments below after this video. Don't forget to do what you see in the elements right here. That would greatly help my channel. And if you would like to see the next video that I will do after this one, it will be up there. Things as of yesterday you may have missed right here. If you have not subscribed to the channel, just click the icon right there. I am Ty Smith, Model Renaissance Man, and I hope and pray every last one of you have food, shelter, and clothing. And most of all, praying every last one of you guys in great health, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.